Hey, what up, everybody? This is Jason Gray, aka Get At This. I used to play this game all the time from 1999 till 2002 or 2003. Um, I was never top of the top, but I got really good near the end there. Played against all the best people ever with Steffer and all the guys in Sharks, as well as Dot Shaft and Zeeds and some of those guys. My main friends on the game were Hell Judge, who I begged nonstop when I was brand new. He was playing with the AF guys, AF Wonder, Doom Judge, and all them. Begged him to train me. He showed me the ropes. Then he kind of quit, and I just played a ton on my own. My brother and I made clans. They were often in the top 10, never number one or number two. And near the end of my tenure there, I snuck into a few of the top clans for a short while, but it was short-lived. The game was dying, and it kind of got boring. No one really wanted to play against each other. But the other day, Hell Judge, Type for Life, Demise, they were all messaging in a Tiberian Sun Facebook group, added me to it, and I said, what the hell, why don't I go play for fun once in a while? So here I am, old, 33 years old, relearning the game. Kind of comes back to the basics of your strategy and what to do, but the timing is hard to catch up with, and then some of the advanced strategies I've forgotten. But luckily met John, who is humble and good, and he's playing with me and giving me some patience and helping me relearn. And I thought I'd make some videos as I'm relearning for fun to point out things that I see and questions that I have to make these gameplays a little more interesting. So we'll watch one together here and see if we can learn. So we got Humble, top right. You guys all know him. Great player. Scouts well, communicates very well, smart, and can mix it up. Toprush, bottom right. He's really good 2 versus 2, and I know he plays with Tiger, who I think is his brother, and together those guys are great. And we've got Fastfire, who does well, and then Tsplayer, I'm not so sure about. Haven't played with him a ton. But let's see what John does here. So he's scouting the map right away. He's all over the place with a fast mouse. That's important. The question becomes on the anti-scouting is, how far out do people put them and how far out should you put them? Like bottom right hasn't quite scouted his surroundings yet. I'm sure I'll get there. So it's interesting to see that, Humble on top right here is, building some discman right away. Sometimes people wait till after their second ref to get onto those for better economy. And then the question becomes here, does he keep 2 refineries before selling one? That way he gets optimal harv dumping, or does he sell one of those refineries early on, get the extra infantry to bring, and sacrifice a little bit? Oh, he's in! Top left didn't have great anti-scouts. That's going to hurt. Bottom right catches the sneaky one. It's interesting that, top right, I should say, it's interesting that he didn't have any anti-scouts on the far right there before moving those. So the question I have here too is, do you bring, he did a good job of selecting the harv and dumping manually. That's good micro. The question I have is, do you bring all your inf like he's doing right now? Do you leave 3 behind, 6 behind, 9 behind to help anti-scout? Obviously not being scouted is super important, but you also want to win the inf battle and put all the pressure on your opponent. I like how he's controlling his harvs. He's looked around his side of the map pretty often. So he's pretty aware of what's going on. Going 6 ref, just destroy the double infantry on him, or send and put it on him. Now this guy is attacking him, is sending his infantry through the Tiberian field there, which obviously makes him weaker. So the question becomes, hey, should he even do that? Or, is it worth it sneaking in there like that and doing that? Or should he wait and just go to the left side there or mess around? So John is, or Humble, top right, smart. He splits his infantry, knows he's got the blue ones dominated. He's going to go put pressure and take care of what's going on inside his base. He's manually controlling his harv. That's smart. Not too many people do that, so, or they don't do it enough, which is very important to do. Man, he's flying around there. See, I got to do a better job of that now that I'm back to playing with some of these good players. Is I'm not often scouting or looking at the other person's base as often as he is in the beginning. So does he take his discman to the cliff? I think he should, but he's bringing him in there. I guess with this guy is not having anything, bringing him in there, you can really destroy the guy's base. But, you know, if the guy had more infantry or starts killing off, it's nice to just leave the discman on the cliff, annoy the crap out of him, maybe kill the ref, or at least make the guy spend money on repairing his ref. Top left is broke. He's letting his Harvs and his Titans sit back, so it's going to be tough to deal with these inf. Which is a problem I run into too, is learning to control everything so that these type of things don't bother you. Wish we could see bottom right to see what he's doing and what he's looking at, but it's interesting that he went to the engineers from bottom left went to bottom right. So, you know, top left just put a pad down. Looks like orange is sending his infantry down to bottom left to bother him. And it's interesting that he doesn't just go back to top left as he's slowed, maybe take out that pad or mess with him more. Interesting. It's interesting that he sells his service there. He's got 4,800. I don't think it really needs the infantry, and this game looks like it's going to go fast, but if it did go longer, of course you're going to need that to repair your stuff. Well, there it is. Commando wasted. Sad. Guess he was occupied by the infantry attack. Lost his yard. Oh man. One shot both of them on the refs. Not gonna get that ref. I don't know if he got blocked on that landing of the second one, or looks like that's what happened. Should have been able to land somewhere in there. And, you know, for me, that's one thing that I had to relearn right away was where the one-shot angles were from all angles. That way, if one or two of them are blocked or not looking so hot, that you're confident of just dropping it. on any one of those angles and taking out the ref. Which, oh, disser there. Wow. Let's see that again. That was quick. He's got his bomber there and his 3 Titans. And his RPG from far away. Bad angle. Here comes the fun part. Everyone's all out. You know, so it's interesting here where people have their plans or things they want to do, but it often gets ruined when you can't be tunnel vision, I guess is what I'm trying to say is, you know, someone starts getting ahead of you in development or, you know, gets the upper hand on you. Sometimes you got to switch out from attacking to defense or vice versa. It's hard to always know what's best there, but looks like bottom left was just straight out attack and couldn't even stop the Titans. And it's over. You know, the right side just kept pressure on, stopped a few minor attacks along the way, but they prepared with the right mindset, the right build orders, and easily stopped the inf rush and then keep pressure on the whole game, which was pretty impressive. You know, I think the things for me to learn there and others is that you got to scout well, you got to anti-scout well, which everyone knows, but you got to execute. And, you know, top right was controlling his harvesters very well. He was scouting and communicating very well. And it sounds like he suspected a strategy from the left side like happened, but nonetheless, as he was building his infantry and going 4 or 5 refs, he went another 6 or 7 refs to make sure he had even more inf. He was prepared and then just punished them. So it was a fun game. Well played by the right side.